Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse DEADSHOT. This is a figure that sold out right away on Big Bad Toy Store, so I don't think it is available anymore, but on the off chance it is, I'll put a link in the description below. It's actually one of their better releases. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but it does some things pretty nicely, so we're going to talk about that. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before I show you the figure, I do want to show you my package. It is your standard packaging with the collector edition part on the side, which is just funny to me because it's a normal release that they put in fancy packaging. It's such a strange thing that Todd's got going on. And there's a picture of the character, and the figure looks mostly like that, only way more buff. But standard packaging, pretty good overall if you're into packaging. Here this guy is, and he stands just about 7 1/4 inches to the top of his noggin. That's going to make him roughly, we'll call it 18, closer to 18.5 centimeters. Where is Darwin? I lost Darwin. Here he is up against Darwin, who is completely in a different scale, so there's really no point in doing that. But to give you an idea, if you are a Marvel Legends collector, this guy will not fit in with your collection. He's humongous. Also, speaking of being humongous, he's quite thick. He's got a much better silhouette than almost any of Todd's figures. It's not a perfect sculpt by any means, but it is still a really nice overall looking figure. He's very bulky. He's got his shoulders kind of where they belong. He's got the overall thickness where it belongs. I think it's a pretty darn good looking sculpt. You can see the general shape of the chest and shoulders much better than a lot of the figures that they have been releasing. So that's pretty cool. Now the downside is his white parts are not white, so that's a problem. They are this off-white that's kind of a weird greenish white, almost gray, very strange. And it's super shiny, especially his head. It is like straight up polished. Very, very strange looking. Now the rest of the figure, not bad. The paintwork on this thing is a little bit off-center, but otherwise, the paintwork's not bad. It's not super heavy paint job. It's like there's not much shade, there's no shading or anything. It's just these particular spots, but they're pretty clean overall. I think his eye thing is not lined up right at all because it should be in line with his eye and it's not, so they screwed that up. If you look at this, which is what he looks like, the eye thing is usually in line with where the eye would be for him to look through it. This is like not that at all, but otherwise the head sculpt is nice. It's a good looking head sculpt. I wish they'd go for that kind of look for any of the Batman figures. Just put the mouth on there and you have the right shaped head. They don't normally do that. But yeah, it's not without its flaws, for sure. But it does look decent, and if you wanted to repaint this guy, it would not be a bad looking figure at all, other than that eye thing being off center. So that's pretty cool. So I'll give him, for McFarlane Toys, other than the glossiness and the paint and that kind of, the problems are there, so I'll give it a 7. But if they fixed those small problems, it could easily have been an 8 or higher because it's got a very nice looking build to it. As far as accessories go, you get the 2 fist hands, you get 2 pointing finger hands, and 2 trigger finger hands. Nothing for him to hold with those hands, by the way. And then you do get interchangeable gun things for his forearms. So you get the plain ones, you get the smaller muzzle flash, and then you get the ones that almost look like a flamethrower. That's pretty darn cool. I didn't expect them to put that much effort into it, and they look pretty nice, so that's good. That's it for real accessories. You do get the display stand with the silver bit on there, and then you get the collector card, which is just the back of the box with some silver on it, so, or chrome, I guess. So yeah, basic accessories, still just 7 out of 10. These are not collector edition figures, they are just figures that he's charging more for. So don't like that very much. Like, that's not an incredible amount of accessories by any means. Alright, let's talk about the articulation. The head, let's see. We have our double ball peg, but it feels like only a single. Like, it's not technically, I don't think, but it doesn't have much range at all. I do like that the neck goes all the way up. It's a good sculpt, but the range is really, really minimal. Oh man, maybe if you heat that up, you'll get more range out of it, but right out of the box, it really doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. It's pretty stiff and pretty limited. For the shoulders, they actually work pretty nicely on that inner ball, and the cap doesn't look too bad the way they've done it, so that's okay. You're not really going to get any across the chest poses or anything like that. It's just for adjustment posing, so you can decide if you think it's worth it. I personally do not. I don't need to do this the shoulders are placed well in the first place, you don't really need to adjust them that much, and you're going to want the shoulders up anyway to raise the arm, so it doesn't make it look any more natural or anything like that. Really serves no purpose if you ask me, but some people may want that adjustment. Alright, so yeah, full rotation, bicep swivel is in there, double jointed elbow, not the best looking elbow, but decent range, and then the wrists are on ball hinges, as is usually the case, so that is alright. Now let's see if his torso works. He leans back pretty well using both joints, leans forward, still basically 0, and then side to side is good. So it's not bad, other than being able to lean forward, which we just shouldn't expect at this point. Alright, so now the crotch area, it is sculpted well, the butt and everything looks good, but is he actually going to be able to pose is the question. Going out to the side, we have to do some stretching and some folding, but we can basically get him in the full-on splits with no nuggets or anything like that, so that is alright. And then going forward, yeah, his trunks are way too low for the range, so if you want to bring his legs up, you have to really stretch and fold that plastic, and it's still going to bring him up at a weird, basically unusable angle. So that's a problem for sure. Thigh swivel is barely usable in there. Double jointed knees with the mismatched knees. I imagine the elbows don't match either. They're closer. Decent range, decent proportioning. That definitely helps the figure to look good. Proportioning's a big deal, and it's pretty good here. Ugly knees though. No boot swivel. Ankle joint is a standard ratcheted joint, ball hinge. Less heavy on the ratcheting than we often see, so that's good, and the paint is continued. I appreciate that. You're going to get good range out of it, and it will be easier to get him to balance, but not that much easier because it's still a pretty heavy ratchet. Toe hinge on this guy is well done. It's a little bit too far back, but not too, I mean, it is too far back. You should be another tread forward on that to allow him to work properly. But it's okay looking, I guess, and it's not super loose, so again, it's okay. So his articulation is probably slightly less than average. I'll still give it a 7. It's probably alright. If you trim some of this away, it'd be better. If his neck worked a little better, it'd be better. You could argue a 6 on this guy, and I'd be okay with it. So yeah, it's not an impressive release. It's time to rate his cake though, and it's a good one. That's a good shape. He's been working out. I'll give him a 7 on cake also. Alright, so now it's time for the final verdict. Is this the best figure in their lineup? Not even close. Is it a solid figure for the McFarlane lineup? Yes. It really could benefit from some more paint and some less plasticiness. For sure, that's usually the case with McFarlane toys. You have to be willing to make that trade-off. I think it's better to have what's there that needs paint than to not have it at all. And unfortunately, we have to make these sacrifices if we're going to buy these things, because there's no domestic company right now making comic book characters that don't need something, and at least the sculpt is here. So that's my case for McFarlane toys anyway, and you know there's no love lost with me and them, but I'll give it a 7 overall. It's fine. It'll be, if you have a McFarlane collection, this will be a fine addition, a good one. It's one of their better releases. But if you're just looking for a really good action figure that you don't have to customize, then this is not it. If you want to paint it, then this could be a really nice one. Do a little bit of adjustment in the joints and things, and then you've got a really good DEADSHOT. He is pretty thick though. But yeah, it's going to be a 7. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But that's it from me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.